So, if you've been watching the AI circus, I'm thinking, where's the enterprise grade stuff? The stuff that actually works. So PromptOwl is an enterprise AI infrastructure. It's always context aware, it's secure, something you can launch inside of your ecosystem. And it's something that has been designed, custom fit, to be flexible, use multiple models that are available by choice, and be accessible to non-technical users, both to create AIs, leverage them, and then for a central group like a center of excellence or a value creation office to monitor, manage, and expand the ROI of how AI functions. So that's to say that there's a lot of people using AI today in your organizations. Very few of them are getting a lot of ROI, but the ones that are getting ROI are getting a lot of it. And you want to take that and replicate it across more people on those teams and give them the tools to do that in a safe and effective way. So if somebody has a great blog post writer, when somebody is going to an AI to write a blog post, what they're getting is the option to use AIs that are going to be the most effective. Okay. So how do we do all this? So the foundation is the most important. The knowledge is the thing that matters the most. We start everything with our secure knowledge layer. This is where we can connect to any number of systems internally. This is all configured when an implementation is done, and where contexts are connected and context owners are assigned. So maybe you have foundational documents. These documents include things like mission, vision. You don't want to have to change that every time you have an update, but you want to assign that to somebody like at the C-suite. You want to have folders that are there for your teams, for your marketing teams, and that kind of thing. And here we can start to connect information either directly to your systems or through raw text, through scraping your website. So here I can pull all the information I need from my website. So here I've set up the foundational knowledge for our agents. We also want agents to be able to do things. It's not enough for them to just have information access, right? That was the old way of thinking about the world. So we've enabled our MCP tools to connect to anything. And one of our favorite connections here is Zapier MCP connections, because they have 8,000 plus MCPs. But you can connect really to any MCP that you want. There's a lot more on this later. And as part of the implementation process, we can help you with this and in fact do it for you in a lot of cases, and can set these things up very quickly. Right now I've got HubSpot, ClickUp, and Slack connected. So I also have Brave Search for searching the web, a calculator connected, and a date time tool connected. And we can give our agents access to all these. We also have native connections, and there's quite a bit of these that we can enable out of the box. So the engine, right? Individual prompts are useful, but the prompt libraries are where it really starts to get interesting. As you develop your outreach strategy or your rollout strategy inside the organization, agents are built around these prompt libraries, and they could be available to use for departments and teams. Be spun up very, very quickly, and I'm going to show you in just a minute how you spin up an agent. It's very simple. Let's go ahead and we're going to spin up a simple agent. So this is using a simple single call. Now you may have seen workflow tools that are somewhat complicated. They need a lot of code. We integrate with those tools where really rigid workflows are required, but we believe that creating agents should be as simple as writing a job description. In this case, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to look up a contact. So maybe we want to have a way to ask the chat about a certain contact in HubSpot. I'm going to tell it to create an agent that can interact with the HubSpot tool and get contacts back from HubSpot and ask questions about them. Maybe later what we want to do is connect that to Slack and have the agent automatically then reach out to certain sales folks if there are, let's say, HubSpot contacts that are starting to get stalled, to see if we can collect more information about them and if they need any help, and use that as a way to prioritize. It's an example use case. So PromptOwl will actually write the agent for you. The only thing we need to do at this point is just connect the tool. The tools we've turned on are here, and there's, as you can see, quite a bit of HubSpot tools. So we're going to look for Find a Company. We're going to connect that tool, and we're also going to connect one more tool, Find a Contact. So we have those in place, and just to make sure it's working the way we want it to work, see, it creates its own guardrails, privacy regulations, and all of that. So in the output format, we actually want to look at the instructions and the context. Here we're going to go ahead and say that we want you to use the tool to reach out to HubSpot and get information on a contact. So we'll do that, and it can tweak this. That's one of the things that's a big value in PromptOwl is if you don't like the way that something works, you can version it, and it's easy to maintain and manage the different prompts that are running the agents. So we're going to go ahead and save that, and let's test that out for us. Okay. We'll start with a super vague question. There we go. Okay. So we've got a list that's come back, and we can keep this going. I can add additional tools. I can add additional knowledge. And as my team is using this, I'm able to improve the conversations by using this annotation tool. So I can respond to this and say, hey, I really like this, or I think it needs to be more formal, and it will improve the prompt automatically. Or I can use this as a way to get information out of the system. So let's say I wanted to measure whether or not this is an effective exchange. I would just ask that in natural language. And it turns out one wasn't very effective. The other one was fine. And from here, I can actually build out reports that could be used across all of my prompts in the system to track certain KPIs and ROI metrics. This is one of the biggest missing pieces in enterprise AI today, is the lack of the ability to do reporting. You can see in our reporting section, we have the capability to generalize analytics across different prompts, across different agents, and be able to track certain KPIs, and this is completely customizable. So part of that flexibility is being able to come in, select my pattern, select the card size, preview my card as it goes, and here you'll see whether or not effective exchange, that was the metric we just created. We're going to save that. I do have to choose a validation type, or I should say not a validation type, but a chart type. So here we'll do a pie chart. And maybe I don't need it that large. Maybe we'll do, or I don't need it medium, we'll do a large one. So this is effective. We'll save the card. Now I just made this prompt. So we'll want to forward date it, and there it is. There's my prompt. So effective, yes, no, 50-50. Just like the metric pulled back, okay? So that's how the prompt builder works. We're proud to say we believe it's one of the easiest agent builders in the market. We also support full agentic flows. So if we wanted to do a multi-step flow or give the agent autonomy with something like a supervisor, we could do that. That's a bit more advanced, but we also have the AI assistant to help. But,